everyone, and welcome to Maximum Libertarian right here on YouTube. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, like and share this video. Well, today's little video is titled California Proves Government Can't Even Sell Legal Marijuana. Well, there's a few more little things that came out of California since I read that article, and I just wanted to share it with you now. So here we go. First one, on Wednesday, this comes from foxnews.com. It came out that Governor Newsom's recall has become official. It reached 1.7 million signatures out of the 1.5 million that was needed. Now, the Department of Finance of California will have to estimate the cost of the special election. Californians had complained about several things when it came to Governor Newsom. They said his handling of the coronavirus. He was sued for the mail-in balloting and his wildfire prevention. He also had a few scandals. You know, he wasn't following his own lockdown procedures. He was not handling the public schools, the reopenings, very well. I know what you're all saying. Brian, that's okay. It was all for the good of the public, you know, the lockdowns and all that good stuff. Well, I understand. But on July 1st, here in the Commonwealth of Virginia, we will be legalizing marijuana. And guess what? California approves the stimulus money for marijuana industry. See, this grant will be going out to the growers and sellers to help them stay in business. What has happened is these growers, or the sellers, they picked up provisional licenses, but they haven't turned them into permanent licenses. They said the difficulty, right here, it says the difficulty of the process has resulted in roughly 82% of the licensees holding provisional licenses, but unable to afford the cost and time and invest in finalizing them. So, Governor Newsom has also proposed a separate 6-month extension to the deadline of converting those licenses. It talks about that the marijuana industry was legalized in 2016 and that the number of shops have fallen short of what the experts had expected. Instead, the unlicensed dealers have continued to thrive while the licensed dealers haven't been there. It's a recent estimate put the legal number of illegal dealers at triple what the licensed ones. Now, I know what you're saying. What could cause all of this? Well, let's think about it. Right here in the article, it talks about some of the factors. It includes the high taxes on the legalized weed, the difficulty of meeting environmental standards and regulations, and the fact that many cities do not allow dispensaries to operate within their boundaries. But luckily, this money will not be going to the sellers or the businesses. That money will be going to, the localities, the local agencies that have the largest numbers of provisional ballots, of provisional licenses, such as Los Angeles. For example, they will get roughly $22 million in funds. Some cities will be able to use the cash equities to use that cash to offer equity funding to the cannabis operations owned by people of color. So let me explain that last paragraph to you here real quick. They're setting up another bureaucracy in government that will start collecting money. Their friends and the people that suck up to them and pay the politicians will get that money. So look at your hands right now. If you're white, you're SOL. If you're brown, you're SOL. If you're black, you're SOL. I don't care what color you are. You might be blue because you're holding your breath waiting for that money. I'm going to suggest to you to start breathing because you're not going to get that money, because trust me on this, it's going to go into a deep, dark hole, and the city of Los Angeles will somehow lose it. How the government can't make money on marijuana is proof they should not be in the business of, well, marijuana. They shouldn't be in the business of schools. They shouldn't be in the business of healthcare. They should not be in the business of your retirement. You name it, they shouldn't be in the business of it. They should get out. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I know, that excites you, seeing that the government over in California couldn't control the marijuana industry. That might come as a shock to many of you. I don't know. But guess what? So now we know Governor Newsom's being recalled because of his handling of coronavirus, the lockdowns, the wildfire protections, let's see, what else has he not? Oh, how they can't run the marijuana industry. And maybe that's not Governor Newsom's stronghold, but he's the governor and he gets to take it. If it's good, he gets the rewards. If it's bad, he gets the reward. But now this is also coming out like any good socialism. It says here from The Guardian, it says California has a $5.2 billion plan to pay off unpaid rent occurred during the pandemic. Now, let's keep this in mind, my friends. People being behind the rent, behind bills, businesses going out was caused by officials like Governor Newsom. That's why he's getting recalled. It's also caused by people like Ralph Northam, my governor, here in the great Commonwealth of Virginia. They have blood on their hands from all the death, from suicide, alcoholism, drug overdoses. They completely destroyed this place. But at least we can build back better. In this article, it talks about how there's an estimated 900,000 renters in California who are on an average of $4,600 in back rent. And without this aggressive protections and relief, experts say that the state would experience a tsunami of evictions and dramatic worsens of its homelessness crisis. I got all twisted up with my words, Sorry about that. So, federal eviction protections are due to expire at the end of June. So it's not that many more days away. Lawmakers are already working on a $260 billion operating budget and are debating on whether to extend the restrictions on evictions beyond June. Now, I feel for these individuals that have fallen behind on rent. It's something that they cannot help because people like Governor Newsom and the leaders that they put in place who kept hollering, follow the science. Well, they never followed the science. They didn't open the place back up when it should have been opened back up. They let people stay in their home. They force people to stay in their home, and they are causing this. These folks were bamboozled into believing the nonsense and believing that they had elected someone who really cared for them. But we've got to think about, what about the renters or the actual landlords, the owners of the building? Well, Keith Beckner, he said here in this article, right here, he has 14 tenants, and they're more than $100,000 behind in rent payments. It had a financial pressure on the owners, who Beckner says they resigned themselves to it. He argued the eviction protection should end. Now the $5.2 billion fund to pay off people's rent, it's going to come. The way it's going to come is it's going to come in a multiple federal aid packages approved by Congress, and it will be more than enough. Right here, it says by senior counsel to Newsom, be more than enough to pay off the debt in that state. But like I said previously, with the marijuana grants, this money will go into a black hole, and the state will be slow to distribute it to the people that need it. Because if you look right here, a report from California Department of Housing and Community Development showed that $490 million in requests for rental assistance through May 31st, and just $32 million had been paid. That did not include the 12 cities and 10 counties that run their own rental assistance. Of course, it's a big project, I understand. But this is what's going to happen. That money will get lost in a black hole. And their family, their friends, if you're the right political affiliation, you'll get the money very quickly. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I guess to finish this little broadcast, the state of California proves over and over again, for some reason, the states in this country will follow California lead. And what you're seeing happen in California is going to happen in your state. Because I know it's going to happen here. It's already being talked about. And they're not going to be able to run to marijuana because they rushed it through. They don't have anything proper. They don't know what's going on. There's a lot of unknowns right now. The governments, and in this case, the government of California, has proven time and time again that it can't run a pandemic. It can't run the wildfire protection, and it can't run the marijuana industry. So why are we letting government run public schools? Why are we letting them control Social Security? Why are we even letting them control health care? Maybe it's time for the states to start doing as they were intended to be, and that's they do their own programs. So if the program works, great. If it fails, well, that's too bad. But guess what? No one beside them or below them will be on the hook for them. You want to pay for free healthcare, free school, free rent, free this, free that, grand. But you will not be getting help from the federal government. I do, and I pray that one day prostitution will become legal here in the great country, in our great country. Because I can guarantee you, if the federal government, if a state government is in control of prostitution, it will go belly up. And that'll be amazing to watch. So, all right, kids. If you haven't already, please click the subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. like and share this video. If you have a comment, please comment below. Tell me what you think. Tell me how Newsom's great. Tell me how he's bad. Whatever. And so until tomorrow, or maybe later today, who knows? I will see you later. Goodbye.